Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am Jeffgrantmedia, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Moza Mini MX cell phone gimbal. Now, before we begin, I am not being paid to say anything positive about this gimbal or negative about it. A representative from Moza simply reached out to me, asked me if I would be interested in taking a look at the gimbal and doing a review, and I said yes, because I actually use a Moza Air gimbal for work and for freelance gigs that was bought and paid for with my own money. That was not a deal with Moza. There's a video on this channel. If I can find the link, and I'll put it up there. The very first time I ever used it. So yeah, that was I bought that gimbal because that was the gimbal that had the best reviews at the time. So I have no affiliation with them, but they did send me this for free. I did not pay for this Moza Mini MX. They gave this to me as a product to test and review. So that's what we're gonna do, but we're gonna start by doing an unboxing and first impressions video. Now, this will be app controlled, so I will be reading some specs and shooting some B-roll after these first impressions so I can get a better idea of how each of the functions work. And then I will be doing the full review once I actually get some real-world use of the gimbal. As always, once you're done with your knife, fold it up, put it away, because you don't want to cut yourself. Now we're going to start by opening this box up. Okay, we have instructions. QR codes will probably give us the app. Let's see, we have charging cable and looks like a wrist strap, silica gel. Here's our instruction manual. This is the probably welcome packet. The gimbal, which feels pretty nice. It's got some heft to it, not bulky. It doesn't feel heavy like it's going to be taxing to carry, but it has some heft, and we as consumers generally equate weight to quality. But we will see. We will see if there is quality in this product. And then what do we have in here? Nice packaging, by the way. I like it. The foam is decent. It feels like it definitely would protect very well. They shipped this to me. I think they sent it from Amazon, so it went bounced around the back of an Amazon truck, and it arrived just fine. What else do we have in here? Oh, we have, appears, a little tripod and a branded Moza bag to carry it all in when we're done. So let's move on. All right, to start off, let's see. We need to download the app, and we have a QR code, so we're gonna go ahead and pull out our trusty cell phone. Open the QR code here. It's bringing us directly to the App Store, the Moza Genie app. So we're going to go ahead and install that. While the app's installing, let's go ahead and we'll unfold the gimbal. Now it seems like the handle, step one, we unfold this way, we unfold this way and that way. Okay, so now the gimbal is free moving. All right, now we will put the phone in. Let's see, I do have a very thin case. This is an iPhone X. It has a thin case, and yeah, it cradles it. It cradles it good. Okay, so now let's see. I mean, this is brand new out of the box, so I don't know if there's any juice, but there should. Yep, okay, there's juice. All right, now before I do anything, app's not installed or anything yet. We could see it is. There's the stop point. I mean, that you wouldn't want to. My arm kind of stops, so I wouldn't really be able to go any further that way. But I can go Wow. Almost 360 there. Almost. Getting a little wiggle in the phone. All right, so let's go ahead and check the status of the app and see if that is, I like this. I'm trying to talk and do the review, the unboxing, but I just keep looking at the gimbal itself. So let's check the status of the app. It should be downloaded by now. There's a few things I'm gonna mention after we get rolling here, but let's check the status of the app, because I know this has a bunch of different settings on it that we can actually do. So probably have to pair the Bluetooth to the camera, and I can control the camera functions through the controller, and it should have some advanced camera functions in the app. So let's go ahead and check that out. The audio sounds different. This is because it is filmed in the future, because I had a corrupt file and lost a bunch of footage. So once we open the app, once it's downloaded, we're gonna go ahead and have to give the app permissions to use our phone, such as photo albums, access to the camera, access to the microphone, access to our Bluetooth. We're gonna just go ahead and grant all of these permissions. We're gonna agree to the privacy, and then there we go. We are up and running. Now, up in the top left of the screen, we have the option for the resolution, the frames per second, and the lens. If we tap that, we can get 720p, 1080p, or 4K, and that will change the resolution at which you are recording at. And then if you want to tap that same thing again, you can see in the right side, you have your actual frame rate. So I can change my frames to 30, 60, 120, or 240. And I believe I'm rambling on about the view that you're seeing. That is actually my basement, because the studio is, it's in a corner of my basement. So you can see my workshop and my furnace, and I am sitting against a wall on the opposite of all of that. Okay, so now we're straight recording directly on the phone. Again, we can do tilt and pan directly through the joystick. Now let me see. No, I haven't read any directions yet, so okay. Much like the trigger, the double button pull on the air, if you do a double tap, it brings it back to center on the trigger. Double tap on the trigger and it'll bring it back to center. Now we do have a few controls here. Let's see our options. Grid. Okay. We have beauty corner, playful lens. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of preset looks here. Retro, film, old time. I mean, there's a whole bunch of built-in filters, which is cool. Like a lot. There's a lot of filters here. We can turn it off. Go to original, which I believe is nothing, and then we should have a whole bunch of full screen preview, mixed background, camera anti-shake. Okay, again, I have not read any of the directions. I am just playing with this right now. Okay, now I believe there's an Inception mode where if I hold the button, it's supposed to spin the gimbal. I think like it turns and spins at the same time, but I can't figure it out. I read the directions. It just tells me that there is an Inception mode, but I don't know. The book is tiny, so I'm sure I'm missing something. But I thought it was a function in the app, but it's actually just a hand movement on the gimbal, which is actually better, because then if you want to do some of these cool effects, you don't have to stop what you're doing, go into the app, then redo the clip, have to do a whole new clip. You can just keep shooting, and then you can cut it up later on if you want to. But I like that it's all by hand, so you don't have to use the app. Now, inversely, the more functions that are built into the hand controls, it gets confusing. These buttons are supposed to be zoom buttons. They're also not zooming, and it's fully connected to my phone, so I'm gonna have to look into that more. I even have the little Bluetooth icon I touch it, it tells me that it's connected. I got all the information, but I don't have full control over my phone, so I think I might have to do an update to the app. I mean, I just downloaded it, but there's been other times where I've just downloaded an app and then like 2 hours later, 3 hours later, there's an update for that app. So maybe I just need to do an app update. So far though, everything I'm seeing this thing is, I love that it works intuitively. You just double click that trigger, it brings it back to center. You can see it's staying really, really center. I mean, if I go too far, like right now, the gimbal is blocking the phone, but I can go past that point. And there we go. Just double click it. I did something crazy, but I think the Inception mode is supposed to kind of spin the phone this way, because if you've seen the movie Inception, just like the worlds, they turn and they rotate up on their sides and stuff. So just if I hold the button, it's just making it pan like you're supposed to press and hold. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. Like if I'm reading the directions right in front of me, and it says to push up to move the lens up, push down to move the lens down, push left to move the lens left, push right to move the lens right. Inception mode, push left and the rolling, push left and the rolling rotates counterclockwise, push right and the rolling rotates clockwise. It's not telling me to combine that with any other functions, but I've tried holding the trigger and it just pans. Hold the trigger, it just pans. The button doesn't, like, it's not a button, it's just a joystick. It goes left, right, and up and down. Like it doesn't press in. So I don't know if I have to like holding other buttons. So that's the only thing I really am disappointed with right now, that I don't have full control over the phone with the actual gimbal, and I'm not getting that Inception mode. But again, I think that's probably gonna be something as simple as just updating the app. But thus far, I'm really liking this. The app is very simple, but it has a lot in it. I like that it has a whole lot of looks to it. It's got a lot of built-in filters, which is great. So if you want to shoot like a little music video, it would be great. Like you could probably, and I'll try this as long as it's not freezing cold outside, riding on a skateboard is one of my go-tos to test a cell phone gimbal. Is I ride on a skateboard and see how smooth of a shot I get while I'm riding on the skateboard. So it's pretty solid though. I like it. It's smooth. It moves really good. The joystick is simple and easy to use. It's intuitive. There's not much lag. There's maybe there's a fraction of a second. Like it's not even a half a second of lag. But yeah, I'm digging it so far. The only thing, it took me a second to, let's power it down here. The folding and unfolding, it's a little deceiving because you feel like this handle is a solid piece, yet it is not. So you will lock, if you turn it the right way, you lock that, you lock that, and then, so you feel like you can't rotate. And I did this probably for 2-3 minutes looking at, the instructions show you how to open it, but they don't show you how to close it. So I'm trying to close it back up, but this, the handle in this piece move. So you, see, I've even done it and now I'm confused. So now I will figure this out. There we go. There you go. So now it folds back in onto itself. So that was the only part I opened it and I didn't pay enough attention when I opened it to realize that the handle is actually two points, because again, the actual grip and then where the trigger is are two separate pieces, and it slides 2 clicks, and then you have compact gimbal that will now fit inside its little bag with its little tripod and your charging cable and your wrist strap, and then you're good to go. This would be really great for, I'm gonna go ahead and guess TikTok. I've never used TikTok, but it seems like it's the new go-to run around, film yourself, TikToking, because it's very small, it's compact. You can throw this in a backpack. You can this will probably fit in the center console of my car, or like one of the water bottle pockets on the outside of my backpack. So I like the compactness of this. It's definitely a little bit smaller than some of the better cell phone gimbals that I've used. This is definitely on par thus far with some of the other cell phone gimbals that I've used. And again, it's just a little bag, so there's no padding to this, so you don't have anything extra. So if you want to be protective, you could probably get a cheap camera cube, and I'm sure you can grab it on B&H for nickels for one of those Gorilla Gear or something like that. I got a bunch of them. They're just these little bright yellow padded cubes that's just a pull tie, it's a cinch tie, so there's not much to them, so they're relatively inexpensive, but they work really, really well, and they're really good for organizing your camera gear. I keep actually a bunch of stuff in them on the shelf, so that way it's padded when I'm grabbing stuff, but they're square, so they sit really good on a shelf. So something like that would be great if you're a little more concerned with it. But yeah, so far I'm digging it. I'm going to be using and testing this for the next couple of weeks while I put together a full-on real user review. So stay tuned, and if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.